Sharpen those ears, folks. We're back to the adventures with the highly unusual elf-only module, the Tree of Life. This one fills in a lot of the background of the origin of the elves of Mystara, taking the characters back to the Sylvan realms, the original land of the elves that they settled after Blackmoor blew up. The module is designed for a party entirely of elves, with the exception of a possible druid, so you have at least some healing. The plot needs a little kick on the pants once in a while to keep going, but if you're looking for a unique one-off, this is one of the most unique. I'm Mr. Welch, and welcome to Mystara. The Tree of Life is from 1986. It was written by Bruce Hurd, who's probably the biggest name behind Mystara. He wrote the Princess Arc set and was the project coordinator for the entire setting. Cover is classic Elmore. Mario Macari does the interior art. In the companion line, it's CM7. Yeah, I know I haven't done Mystery of the Snow Pearls, but that's a solo adventure, and those are bloody hard to review without giving away the plot. This one breaks away from the Warlord series like where Chaos Reign does, and so it's not tied to Norworld at all. In fact, it's all Alfheim all the time. The module reads like it was meant to be a standalone tournament module. It's designed to be played entirely by an elf party. Being this is BECMI, there's no thieves, there's no clerics, there's no high-level fighters. You've got a group of elven fighter mages that the module is written around. To compensate, the module is designed to be beaten by the party. You're not going to find many locked doors or traps. Since this is a module for around level 8, you don't have to worry about attack ranks and other high-level elf stuff. Actually, the companion level is pretty high. The module is for levels 8, which puts it firmly in the expert level set. So, yeah, calling it a companion level module is a bit of a misnomer. So this is the first module to start in Alfheim. The premise is that the Tree of Life of the Fiadiel tribe has started to sicken and die. If it dies, the clan dies. Turns out a long time ago, to avoid an invasion of the Black Horde, the original clan that Fiadiel came from hid their souls in trees. The big bad shows up, can't find any elves, and pillages the areas instead. This gets him cursed, and the curse continues to this day. Now flash forward, and one of his supposed ancestors has managed to track down the elven tree keeper that was causing the Tree of Life to stay up, so now the tree's dying, and since the clan Fiadiel's Tree of Life was a cutting off of that Tree of Life, if the original dies, so does theirs. So the party has to go back to their ancestral homeland, save the tree, and win the day. Yay! The module is broken into 5 chapters. It's a bit larger than other modules, coming in at 40 pages, and that includes 8 pages of interior maps. That's another thing that screams tournament module. You have to get through all 5 checkpoints to finish the module, which would give a tourney DM an easy method to determine the best party. Chapter 1 sets up the story, with the elves investigating a disturbance in the forest as a whole host of evil creatures are trying to find the long-dead founder of the elf clan. This part serves to give the party some combat, and they can be rather difficult in some encounters. But remember, everybody in the party can fight and cast spells, so they can handle their own. The druid can heal them, but it's best if the party avoids combat where they can. So you get all the clues, you find the Rainbow Bridge, and suddenly you end up in the land of puzzles. Seriously, the second part takes place in a room that is filled with floating crystal spheres and lots of colors everywhere. You have to play mix and match with the primary colors to get the right door to open. It's pretty obvious once you realize what the puzzle is. If they don't figure it out, there's a good chance the party's going to lose more than a few members here because the penalty for wrong answers in this trap room is pretty severe. Then you get to the third section of the adventure, and this is the part where most parties have problems with. It's a large number of fetch quests in a single area. The instructions on what to do and why to do them was in a room back in the previous section, but considering it was one of the areas you got to if you answered incorrectly, there's a good chance you could miss the clue entirely. An inexperienced group might fail to understand what they're supposed to do here or get paranoid about the voice that tells them that they have to get the 12 keys, so you're going to have to coach them if they need to push. Yeah, you have to run around collecting 12 keys, and this part takes longer than any of the other sections of the module. There's a ton of puzzles here, not all of them clear on what you need to do. There's a pretty difficult math question for those afraid of numbers. There are several interconnected fetch quests that end up with you chasing after missing keys. There's a star chart for the players so they can use it to keep track of which keys they don't have. That's on the back of the module, but it's facing the players for the fold-out. Keep referring back to that to see what they haven't done yet. It's the best way to keep them motivated because this part can get a little complicated. To get all the missing keys, you're going to need to go to the ancient elfin tower that's now the big bad's home. This is a straight up dungeon crawl with the evil wizard running around being an annoyance if the party really isn't stealthy. And this one can be fairly difficult, especially if there's no druid, because that means the party doesn't have any healing. Stealth is highly recommended for this part of the adventure because the big bad massively outranks the party. They're level 8, he's level 25. The odds of beating him are slim and he plays smart. They don't have to kill him though, you just need the last of the keys. If you go in, get the keys, get out, and nobody notices, you're just as good as if you killed him. So once you've got all 12 keys, you get to the part 5 of the adventure, where you get even more puzzles after a pretty brutal fight. Once you figure out the puzzle, then you get to play a nasty game of keep away, as one of the party has to spend an hour chanting while random creatures teleport in and try to disrupt the ceremony that ends the curse and saves the tree. Then it gets complicated, because you free all the elves that were trapped in trees, but they then promptly blame the party for their predicament. So now you get to plead your innocence to a pissed off elf king to see if the long lost Fiadiel clan can be welcomed back into the graces of their ancestors. If the party has managed to come through with flying colors, you can throw an optional encounter at them as Morcroft's army attempts to slaughter the elves. This works if the party lost their trial, because it gives them a chance to redeem themselves. It uses the War Machine rules from the companion set. It's a pretty tough fight. There's a few sylvan creatures that would help the party if they did well in the search for the keys, but the party is going to have to earn their happy ending. That's the module. It's a challenge for players. You're hamstrung because you are all playing the same class. There are several save or die situations, and you got a big bad that can wipe out the party with a single meteor swarm if they aren't careful. The fact that everybody in the party is a spellcaster can make some of the encounters pretty easy, but at the same time you've got one healer and no thief. The party is going to have 40 to 50 hit points each on average, so the PCs can't take a lot of damage. Now, the odds of somebody starting a party at first level and everybody playing an elf is slim to none. So this is mostly likely going to be a one-shot. If your party wants a challenging module, this is it. Initial spell choices are going to be important, because you can't try and rush it. There's a lot of insta-kill traps that will destroy you if you don't solve the puzzles correctly. If you're trying to convert this to 5th edition, it loses part of the charm because you've removed the restrictions on the classes. So if you want to make everybody an elf, you can have an elf cleric, an elf rogue, an elf sorcerer, and so on. And that kind of cheapens the way the module was meant to be played. But if you want to try it that way, that's up to you. It was designed to be played in a specific way, and altering that changes the balance of the module in ways that wasn't intended to be played. This is a pricey module, possibly the most expensive companion level module I've seen. On average, it runs about $50 secondhand if you want to get it that way. Then you can get it for less if you're patient on eBay or Amazon. The PDF costs you $5 as normal. The print-on-demand hard copy is $10. Problem with the POD is you need to give the players the star map, because it's an important clue and they need to look at that one. In the cover, the original was attached to the back flap and it faced the players. Unfortunately, reprints don't do pullouts justice. They need to perforate the pages for these to come out. That would be a major improvement on the print-on-demand stuff. So next week we're looking at the only module Ed Greenwood of Forgotten Realms fame did, the Endless Stairs. It's a typical companion level module with chasing one clue leading to another clue and finally confronting the big bad guys fighting over a magical invisible stair that nobody else can see. This ends up with the party, if you're successful, with a very powerful artifact and everybody coming to get it later. It's got lots of hidden legends and impossible mysteries for the party to discover, and this one can be adjusted to various party levels just by changing the level of monsters and the bad guys in it. That's the location that sells it. And the location is the problem, because after you beat the module, you've got pretty much everybody in Glantry coming to take it away from you. So until next time, remember, elf is not the other white meat.